Something that I think you all know how to do is a newspaper article. You know that it's got a heading, and the first thing it has before the article is something called a byline, which says by and then your name and surname. And we usually put the date at the top too. Preferably, a newspaper article starts with the city where the journalist is writing from. So in capital letters it says Cape Town, and then the introduction follows immediately after that on the same line. You'll remember that all the important stuff, the main event, happens in that first paragraph. So it's the opposite of a storybook. In a storybook, we slowly build up to the main event at the end. But a newspaper article is exactly the opposite. All of the good bits, all the interesting stuff happens in the first paragraph, and then after that, you go into the backstory. Remember that newspaper writing is very formal. You don't use the word I, and you don't use the word we, because you're not talking about personal things. You're not talking about your personal point of view. As much as possible, you need to be professional and to use facts. Keep your sentences really short, because it'll keep your writing sounding factual and professional. Try not to use words that you don't understand. Try to write in a crisp, clear way. And the best way to do that is to use short sentences. And then if you decide to write a magazine article, the format is kind of similar looking. You still have a heading, a headline, and you have a byline. And you can also use columns, just like in a newspaper article. And I'll just say on that note, please only do 2 columns, and please use a ruler. When you don't use a ruler, it doesn't really look very good. The main difference with a magazine article is that it is slightly less formal, and usually the topics are different. A magazine article might be something that you can give a personal opinion about. In general, the feeling of a magazine article is more personal. You get the sense of someone actually writing it, someone who's got thoughts and ideas about the topic. So sometimes a magazine article can even be like a review. It can be an opinion, a piece about something, but the way that it's presented looks a little bit like a newspaper article. So the main difference between a newspaper article and a magazine article is the tone, the language, and the style of writing. A newspaper article is very factual and formal, and a magazine article is slightly more relaxed. And I'm not going to say it's colloquial, but it is a little bit more chatty than a formal newspaper article.